With the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special now available on Disney+, fans can turn their attention to the next major cosmic narrative to be told in the MCU, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Volume 3 is the last part of James Gunn's trilogy. Well, trilogy and a bit, if you count the holiday special. It promises to end the long-running stories of Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Nebula, Groot, and Rocket after 9 years, while also leaving a little more room for the future Marvel stories to explore. But in reality, what does that mean? Here's everything you need to know about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Before we get started with the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. The cast of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. If you've ever watched a Guardians of the Galaxy film, cheer. Your favorite character will almost surely return in Volume 3. The entire cast returns for the trilogy's conclusion, including Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Karen Gillan, Palm Clementif, Vin Diesel, and Bradley Cooper as the eponymous Guardians, as well as Sean Gunn, Elizabeth Debicki, Sylvester Stallone, and Michael Rosenbaum, who all reprise their roles from previous films in the series. Will Poulter as Adam Warlock, Maria Bakalova as Cosmo the Space Dog, and Peacemaker's Chukwudi Iwuji as the High Evolutionary will join them. The cast is rather extensive. What is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 about? Unfortunately for those who are sensitive to animal cruelty, Volume 3 seems to be about Rocket becoming ill as his body starts to resist the genetic mutation that has made him the surly little beast that fans know and adore. You're not prepared to see a CGI raccoon weep, really. The plot will include the High Evolutionary, a scientist who has no qualms about genetically manipulating creatures for his own ends. That may have had anything to do with Rocket's genesis in the first place. But there's more happening than that. The Sovereign People have created Adam Warlock to seek vengeance on the Guardians for their acts in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which has the potential to pose problems for the team. As if that wasn't enough, Star-Lord is still grieving the loss of Gamora in Avengers Infinity War, which is made much more painful by the fact that in another reality, Gamora is still the Ravager's new commander. Let's just say there's a lot to go through, and considering that it's the last film in the series, there's a good risk that not everyone will make it out alive, or even several pieces. Who's making Guardians 3? Unlike any other Marvel trilogy, the Guardians of the Galaxy films have been quite stable in terms of creative skill throughout their run. James Gunn returns as writer and director for Volume 3, the same tasks he performed on the previous 2 films, as well as the holiday special. Though it should be noted that Nicole Perlman did a lot of early lifting as the first film's writer back in 2014, before Gunn joined the project. All 3 films were produced by Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige and cinematographer Henry Brom, as well as editors Fred Raskin and Craig Wood are returning for their 3rd appearances in the series. However, there is one notable personnel change. John Murphy is in charge of the film's soundtrack, replacing Tyler Bates, who composed the previous 2 films in the series. Murphy, who collaborated with Gunn on the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker for DC, also composed the GOTG Holiday Special. As the last installment of a trilogy, both 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy and 2017's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 are necessary to watch before diving into Volume 3. That's not all. Following those 2, you should see both Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, in which the Guardians play a key role, to the point that the team's lineup alters in both large and tiny ways. What about the lineup changes? Yes, since Thor has joined the team, that means you should definitely watch Thor: Love and Thunder, or at least the first half of it, before watching Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, get in the holiday spirit. That final one is particularly important since it establishes the character's status quo heading into the 3rd film. If you're not into holiday happiness, think of it as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.5. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was initially scheduled to release on May 1st, 2020, but was delayed owing to Walt Disney Studios dismissing Gunn for a period of time due to disparaging comments Gunn had made on Twitter years prior to his employment with Marvel. This is all from today's video. Thanks for watching, and remember to smash the bell icon.